I have some good news. Well, sort of. My phone was slowly dying, but I rummaged around in other people's bags and managed to find a power bank and a cable that I could use to charge up my phone. So, at least that's something. However, what happened after was, well, less than good. I got a bit curious in case there was someone I recognized in the pile of flesh. So I walked up to it to take a look. It was indistinguishable what it was. Just looked like a mashup of skin, muscle tissue, dark red blood, and, well, something glittery. Then, it started moving. Or, rather, writhing. I took 2 quick steps back and felt my heart suddenly racing and my lungs breathing quickly. I could feel panic starting to fill my entire body as the pile of flesh started to almost breathe and slowly rose to about the height of an average human. Long tentacles started reaching out, going everywhere. It almost looked like a huge octopus made out of human parts. The sight of this thing terrified me so badly that I couldn't move any part of my body. I was just frozen in place when I suddenly got the wind knocked out of me and I flew for a few meters. Luckily, I landed on a few soft bags. Instinctively, I grabbed the nearest heavy-looking bag and threw it at the giant octopus. I heard a giant roar, both from it and from what I could only assume was the boy upstairs. That's when my legs finally were able to respond, and I ran. I just ran faster than my legs or lungs was ever designed for. It felt like they were going to explode at any given moment, but I had to get away from that monster. I was dodging bags and various luggage in my way until I finally reached a yellow ladder. I climbed it as quickly as I could. The sudden rush of adrenaline made me able to just force open the overhead hatch that blocked my way going up the ladder. I quickly closed the hatch and sat myself on top of it, hearing loud slams of giant tentacles hitting the hatch, feeling the bumps in my entire body as they hit. They eventually stopped. I had time to realize that I needed to focus my breathing and calm my heart down. I did look around, though. I was now in my cockpit. It was empty and moldy, at least from what I could see sitting on the hatch. When I was finally able to move again, I got up inside it to take a better look around. There was the door leading out to the passenger area. Right next to it was another door. I opened it and carefully peeked inside. It was pretty much only a bed and a nightstand in there. That wasn't important right now. I only needed to check that there wasn't anything that could be dangerous in there. What was more important was checking the controls. The captain's and the co-pilot chairs were empty. Or, not exactly empty. There was piles of ash in both of them, but I could see on some of the screens that were still working that we were on autopilot. And the fuel level? Well, how is that possible? A fourth of a tank? But the power system seems to be wonky at best. I managed to find the emergency manual checklist that I have seen the pilots use in various episodes of air crash investigations. And with it, I managed to set the emergency frequencies on the radio, called out emergency several times, broadcasting on as many frequencies as I possibly could. No help. I could only hear static on the radio, which was strange considering that according to the navigation system, I was pretty close to several countries and the signal should have gone out to just about everyone. I was even able to fire up an emergency generator at these planes having in case of power failure, hoping that I could get the ventilation system working again. No dice. Seems like the entire system was clogged or something. But I didn't make a decision though. You see, whatever his mold was could apparently affect both living and dead tissue. And the only logical conclusion I could make from us still having fuel was that it somehow converted biological things into fuel so the plane could continue on its programmed path. Probably while I was still building that creature in the luggage area. I would probably think the only option I have, I think I might need to crash the plane. And the best place to crash it would probably be the ocean. I think I wouldn't have a slight chance of survival, and I don't think that neither the boy or a giant octopus-looking thing could survive in the actual depths of the ocean. Even if I don't survive the crash, I just can't let these things get out into the world. I managed to manipulate the autopilot enough that we would be on a fast descent down into the water between Sweden and Estonia. While I was sitting there in the captain's chair just pondering the consequences of my choice, I noticed that 2 fighter jets showed up on each side of the plane. I think they tried contacting this plane, and when they didn't get any response, they decided to do a visual inspection. I don't think anything looked very much off from the outside. I tried my best to just look forward so that they wouldn't notice me, and I think they didn't see anything through the windows, because they broke formation pretty quickly. I just want this to end now. I can hear both the zombified octopus and the boy screaming and banging and scratching on the doors, and obviously, I'm terrified. This might be the last thing I do. I really hope it's the right decision. I can feel the plane descending faster and faster now, gaining in speed and momentum. I just hope it'll be over fast.